All right. Welcome back. Let's do a quick test. Let's do a quick test. And okay. Okay. We are going to get into this. Good morning. Welcome back to Western Mike. Today's episode is going to be an update. And boy, is this a bit of a raspberry this morning. This episode is going to be about accidentally quit drinking. As of this morning, as of yesterday, inadvertently quit drinking. Alcohol is no longer a part of my life. So what happened, guys, was already in the process of shifting back more toward a social drinker than a heavy drinker. Was doing YouTube for a while, and this was culminating around the topic of alcohol, variety packs and tasting flights, talking about doing this and visiting bars as well all day long, particularly on a Saturday, sometimes during the week as well. So this was a fairly large investment. Don't really have any of that content anymore, but perhaps there could be a way to try to claw some of that back. In the interim, though, have breaking news without foreseeing it, really. Quit drinking. How did you do this, Michael? Well, yeah, as said, was already in the midst of cutting back my drinking. Was doing YouTube videos. I'm going to probably upload those at some point. Um, those were about how I was already changing drastically my relationship with alcohol, talking about no longer doing it this way or no longer doing it in this amount. This week only had 3 drinks. Only had 3 drinks this week. That's the exact amount to qualify as a light drinker. So was able to cut back to light, therefore social drinking for the week. Now, might still go out, have 1 to 3 more later, but then that's pretty much it. But probably not going to because don't really want to even spend money today. Have already spent money 20% of this week, so don't really need to spend anymore. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything anymore. Um, so yeah, besides some wine, every now and then, especially some champagne during a holiday, but I'm not even really a big fan of champagne. Um, so don't even really like particularly wine. Maybe like some whiskey, but I just don't really like any alcohol. It's just not really going to do it. Seems like a lot of alcohol is intended for certain purposes, i.e., celebrations. Maybe something happened. Um, but it doesn't seem like it should be a sport. From what I'm seeing out there, is that there has been a mass shift away from people treating this drinking, uh, uh, sipping booze all day as a sport. Maybe still on a Friday here or there might have a glass of red wine, maybe not even. And if it's a holiday, might have a little bit more, including some champagne. But besides that, I'm really kind of done with it. My last alcoholic beverage um, was my last alcoholic beverage was a really nice Irish coffee. Um, Bartender, my buddy, looked at me like I had 2 heads when I said, "Are you sure there's whiskey in that?" Not to say that wasn't warranted. Um, so I don't even understand half of this stuff. I don't understand the value behind it, the purpose, what people hope to achieve, why people turn alcohol into a sport, where they're literally literally sitting back sipping for hours on end at a time. This is something that does not uh, correspond to my schedule. My schedule is significantly active. And if I'm going to do this, it needs to be something that's still, maybe on occasion, 1 to 3, and during a busy week, one. Had 3 one day this week. Hopefully, but otherwise, yeah, just 1. Maybe even just 0.5, half to half. Maybe even just if there's not even a 0.5 glass, if there's a 0.5 ABV, we'll do that instead, because after a while, you're just going to want to minimize alcohol. You just want to minimize alcohol after a while. We're all already doing this minimalist thing, so why not apply it to something that, if you're not careful, it's going to become a sport. It's going to become a job. If you're not careful, alcohol is going to become a job. It's going to become your only friend, your only job. And you're going to be wondering, how could I have spent most of my time? The last couple weeks now, so besides Friday or Thursday, maybe Saturday sometimes, I have really got a month doing this. And Just want to show you guys. Won't take my shirt off. That's not really a me thing, but if you can notice, my stomach was pretty much out to here, right? So my stomach was out to here pretty much. You could see it, and you could still see a bit of a crevice, but now it's starting to really go back down and decrease again, and that's because quit drinking beer. Beer is totally out of the diet. Quit drinking whiskey regularly. That is totally out of the diet. Beer is just loaded with calories and carbohydrates. One of those can get you, especially these double IPAs, triple sec IPAs. These will definitely get you. Maybe even one of them will. And then also whiskey. Whiskey can get you. It's very high. Um, but while they can be fun, cocktail bars are something that I want to do with my friends because we'll find that, especially because it's pretty much the Jesus drink anyway. Wine bars tend to be a little bit comfier, especially in my own time. So I'm probably going to just likely just going to go have a couple glasses of wine every now and then at a comfy wine bar. And if I'm at cocktail bars, I'm going to be sober because um, you're quitting alcohol. So when you quit alcohol, you have to be very picky about these things. It's okay to be picky with your consumption. It's okay to say you don't want to do mini bottles because you're confused about the measurements. You don't want to do, perhaps you don't want to sit there hour after hour with beer after beer and then wonder if there was something you could have done. Yeah, there are things you could have done. Now you were you're there's still a social thing to do. So it's still quite a social thing to do. It's still a pretty productive thing to do. But if you're getting sick of it, then there are certainly workarounds or hacks. Number one, you can just minimize your alcohol by simply getting a point 0.5 or a near beer. If you have too many of those, that's not a big deal. You have to drink those in moderation still anyway. Or just you could have just I think YouTube says between 1 and 3 glasses of anything per week. Per week. Was talking about per day, but some people are saying per week. Some people even say that light drinking is 1 per day per week. So you really, if you want to minimize this, if you don't want to sportify it, if you want to sportify it no more, if you want to minimize this habit, you have to be picky. You have to be doing other things 80% of the time. This is something that has really taken my interest by storm. Is because it's, even if I'm going to do it, it's going to be basically the back burner of all everything that is Michael Goldsmith. My schedule just does not fit this. Even Friday evening is not really a thing about it, so I'm probably just not even going to drink every single week. I can even see my back is getting a little bit better now. My back was out of whack. No, yeah, I had a whack back. My back was whack. And then perhaps starting to get a little bit of muscle. And then just my beer belly. Don't think it's bugging me no more. So and then things starting to remember my name. So I think that's all fairly really good news. But I might still have a beer or a whiskey sometimes, but have really seen a drastic shift toward wine. And again, I'm not saying that this is because it's tasty or because it's the best. There's like, which kind of medicine do you tolerate the most? So what do you do when you're not drinking, Michael? How do you stay active? How do you take all that activity that you could have been achieving during alcohol, and what do you do in your own time? So basically, uh, already had my 3 for this week, so the goal is not to anymore. Might still do that later. Maybe might have 1 or point 0.5 and keep it to 3 for this week, but not sure. Just really not sure. So that 3. So basically, for the week, you could have 3 for the week. That's light drinking. I think it even said for men that at most, moderate drinking you can have as at most 6 drinks a week, but anything above that, and even for the week, that is going into heavy drinking territory. So you're having 7 drinks, even during the week. That's you're crossing into enemy territory with the alcohol. Um, the idea is that you want to minimize this, and it's okay. It's okay if you want to do a 80-20 kind of schedule. Already did that myself this week, so really don't need to do it anymore. Not going to keep practicing something if the practice was already fulfilled. If your practice was already fulfilled, if you're already saying, I did it, why do it again? You could make a mistake, and then you're, especially because alcohol is a drug, you're back to square one. Moderate drinking really is an illusion of action. So what do I do instead is action, is I do action. I do things that are taking action. Before the show was taking care of some stuff, got some breakfast in, thank God. Let's do the calculator. But also was doing my toiletries and doing my breakfast, so it was doing all this stuff, and it was good. It was a good thing to do. Going to go get my calculator. Be right back. I could have said pardon me for a second, but no, yeah, I heard somebody say that to somebody the other day. They were talking to 2 people, and he said to one person out of the 2, "Excuse me for 1 second," and I was scratching my head because I was wondering, but they're right there. Why are you saying "excuse me" for 1 second? That the other person is right there. But anyway, let's calculate our big A avocado. That's 200, and then 140 for 2 cups of blueberries, and then 70 for the egg, and then 100 for olive oil. Okay, yeah, so I'm at 510 calories for today. My breakfast was 500 calories, a 500-calorie breakfast, and already had my 2 glasses of water. So basically, if you're worried about too much alcohol, not enough water intake, 3 to 6 maybe per week drinks at most. Would say 3 to 6, 1 to 6 drinks per week. The most minimal amount if you're drinking, but you want to avoid adverse health risks is 1 drink. It's 1 drink, and maybe not even that. Like, especially if you're introverted, you're antisocial half the time. Maybe perhaps 0.5, perhaps 0.5 a week is maybe more of you. I think that's more of me. But it's probably 1 drink, and then you don't have to cram drinking all at once. Like, oh, if you don't purchase this now, will this go away? Is this going to shut down? No, maybe even just have 1 and then have something else the next week. Keep it varied. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is I might still have 1 on a Friday, maybe 1 to 3 if it's a holiday. And that's it. That's it. But yeah, I'm done cramming. Don't want to cram. And have already gotten a ton of work done this morning. Listened to my stereo a little bit today, and then made my breakfast. My breakfast was 500 calories. 3 cups of fruit, 1 egg with some red sauce on top of it. Seafood sauce. Had my breakfast with some seafood sauce. So if you're wondering how to satiate yourself even more, seafood sauce can really help. Also put some cilantro and Cajun on top of there. The cilantro, I get this bottle of cilantro so that you can keep it on your counter. I don't get the cilantro where, if that's a thumbs up, thank you. I'm not doing the cilantro to where it's you have to keep buying it and then it gets all raggedy after only a couple days. I'm not buying that cilantro. I'm buying the spice that comes in the bottle, and then when you have the bottle, you have the spice in the bottle. You can just keep that out on your counter, and that will last for a long time. And it's really cool to measure it out and to try not to spill the fucker. Try not to spill the fucker. There was an ant, but I just washed the ant down my kitchen drain. California, give a shout out if you're dealing with infestations from the slew of tropical nonsense that we've been dealing with over the course of these past few months. El Nino, terrible twosome coming through Northern California, which is already plagued by constant traffic and drama to the point where you don't want to necessarily be drinking. You don't want to necessarily be doing drugs in general. And it's just don't really want to do drugs because of a lot of this BS going on. And it's not a reason. It's an avoidance. If you already have to be real about this. And already have my 2 glasses of water today. Could end with 2, calmer tonics, and that will be a diminished, but still prevalent high that you can get. You can get high off of 1 drink if you have to drink alcohol. You can get high off of 1 drink. You can get high off of 0.5 drinks. It's all booze, and you're not gonna. Here's the thing: you're not going to avoid booze entirely. You're not going to avoid alcohol entirely. That is just a truth bomb that you are just going to have to inherently accept. Is that you will not in the next perhaps 100 or 50 years anyway, be capable of avoiding alcohol in its entirety. This is a total war. Alcohol has been waging a total war against the human population ever since its inception. Alcohol is the 3rd popularist drink. Somewhat drink in the world. It's not like tea. It's not like water. Water hydrates you. Tea hydrates you. And the last couple of times had tea, was still able to get a nice high. So, if you drink, it's probably good that you do it in an amount so that you get a nice, a diminished, but a nice high. And in my experience, in 1 day a week, that is 1 to 3 alcoholic beverages. It is not 4, it's not 5, it's 1 to 3. And if you want to be as minimalist as you can, although you don't really have to do that, it's 1. It's 1 drink. Because after a while, you're going to get sick of this. You're going to want to do other stuff. You're going to get more active. That's probably to some aspect the drug at work. It tricks you. Okay, it tricks you into thinking that it tastes good. It tricks you into thinking that half the time, at least. What if I drank too much? What did I drink too much? Did I mess up? This happens every weekend. This happens every time you're going to do this. So you already do other stuff in small amounts. Like Donald Trump said, you probably already do stuff, other things in small amounts. Quote, food, unquote. You probably do food in small amounts. You probably do payments in small amounts. So, especially if you're introverted, but if you try to be an active introvert, why is alcohol your sport? Why is alcohol your main man? Your main man is your best friend. Your main man is your purpose. Your main man's your family. Your main man is your sober routine. Everybody needs a sober routine. Everybody needs to have stuff that they do when they're sober. Easy for me to say. I did a brewery tour for 2 years around the Bay Area. I could do it again because these businesses, they keep changing. They keep expanding, even though they don't really have to do that, and would suggest that they don't. Because a little bit worried also, mind you, is that you are purchasing a product, you are perhaps continuing certain trends when purchasing that product, and you're also potentially green lighting, even if you don't intend to, the chainification of businesses. And the chainification of businesses has permeated the economy, permeated the marketplace. This economy of drugs is already being permeated. Even the economy of drugs is getting permeated by what we call chainification. Everything is becoming, is falling victim to chainification. What is chainification? Chainification is basically when what could have otherwise been a perfectly good independent business becomes one or two businesses. So they will open a second location. Then they'll open and that's okay. That's one thing. That's not really going to hurt anybody. But then they open a third and a fourth, and maybe they start to become a little bit difficult to please after a while. So what got everybody into there, the customer service, the warmth, now that's completely out the window because of a shift in attitude, a change in the business's values. Work for a business. Some businesses have to be large in scope. Some businesses have to have a corporate structure and discipline, especially dealing with a populace that is just getting absolutely torn apart by effeminacy and a lack of masculinity. Of course, we need stuff like this, but we maybe don't need this whole idea of multiples. Not everything in life has to be multiple. Some things in life can be one, half of one, half of one. Why do some things in life need to be multiple? That just means more money, more problems. So if you really, the ideal thing to do when it comes to, if you want to drink, but you don't want it to become a sport, if you don't want it to take over your life, and that's my latest kind of goal here, is that maybe one a week. If you want, maybe three a week, and no more than six a week. Otherwise, you're getting into dangerous territory. You're getting into danger. Will Robinson, eject. So our goal here on this channel is to maybe still enjoy some things from time to time, but not let them overtake our structure. Not let them turn us into a multiple. Yeah, not turning people into multiple personalities, multiple uh, lives. Drinking can be a bit of an alias if you're not careful. And that's happened to me, where it was constantly even the same points at the week, time and time again, over and over again. One day drinking a lot, and then the next day wanting to act as though I haven't had a drink in years. And it's you don't even need to drink that much. Probably most people drink once or twice a week, and uh, they're not doing day drinking. I quit day drinking also. That's going to be another video. But I quit day drinking for a number of reasons. Um, Also quit, yeah, just quit really just drugs in general. Um, Wine really is the only thing I like, especially because I'm a little bit comfortable in wine bars and in bars or cocktail bars. It was even trying to transition away from drinking in public. So probably we'll only do a wine bar, and even over there may just go all in and just say not even on a Friday, just going to have some juice and then wake up the next morning. Because, well, you know what? Woke up this morning. Again, good morning. It is now 9 o'clock on the west coast of the US of A. It is 9 a.m. Did not have anything to drink last night. Last night was a sober one for me. That was also another harbinger. Last couple Fridays have not had anything to drink. Have not had it in my house. Have not had it before dinner hour. Dinner hour is a big one. It's like you have to wait anyway. You have to hold this off, even if you do it. Because yeah, like I said, otherwise you're going to be doing this all day, and then bitching about losing half your day. And so even if you do it, you have to have a healthy relationship with it, as healthy as you can, anyway, or you're going to be like a street person with nothing to do. No, yeah, don't drink to the point of being a street person with nothing to do, shaking all day, looking for people to either be friends with or harass or something like that. I don't know. Nobody condones harassment. Nobody condones fake friends. Uh, don't waste my time. Um, if you think you're a tire kicker, wait till you deal with me. So no, but yeah, I'm trying to be an active person, and discipline requires that you minimize everything in your life to the point where it's the back burner. It's the back burner. Not focused on certain things right now. I'm not focused on some aspects of social life right now. I'm just, breaking news, cut back my drinking in public. So was cutting back drinking in public, not in my house, although I did that too. Was not cutting back at home, was cutting back in public. And it is possible. You can cut back your drinking in public, just like you can at home. And how you do it, maybe do it only once or twice a week. Might do it still twice this week just to make sure. But already did it, so don't really need to do that. And it's nice to keep some things at only once a week, if not even that. Um, Once you start doing some things twice a week or a lot, well, then it becomes the sport again. It becomes a sport again. The yank came back. So something can become a sport again if you keep on. Yeah, the more you do something, the more frequent it's going to be. And also did read that about drinking too, is that if you drink more than once a week, then it becomes more frequent. it becomes more frequent. No, yeah, I'm seeing people not really do this that much. Um, I've heard about, drinking every other week, not every weekend. Was already not, going out every weekend, so I think I'm going to also not drink every weekend. So, because I've already done this, it's going to be perhaps another couple of weeks until I'm going to have anything alcohol wise again. No, yeah, especially if you're able to cut back especially in public, and you're then reward yourself with sobriety, sobriety. That's what you can do. Instead of try to do it again and fall victim to illusion of action, and then you're back to square one. Then you have to do it again. That's a drug. That's a drug, man. That's what the drug does. It disguises itself as, hey, you better prove to everybody that you can handle me. Handle what? More days of potentially drinking, more nights of potential uh, obliteration. All for nothing. All for nothing. Now, if here's a good rule: if you already drink once per week, and had only 3 drinks this week. It was all in one day, but only had 3 drinks. Really don't have to do it again. Um, could do it again, but don't really see the point because already kind of did it and already kind of did enough of it. But if you want, your target should be maybe 6 in a week, 6 in an occasion, and then that's it. Light drinker 3, and then really truly minimal drinker is especially if you're an introvert who likes to be active, uh, not somebody who's wasting time and money sitting around sipping things, is one alcoholic concoction per week. This is a lot of sugar. Alcohol has a lot of sugar. It doesn't taste very good. It doesn't taste like something you would look forward to at the end of the day or end of the week. Tastes like something that maybe you want to do it every super occasionally. So was already doing it occasionally, then think I'm going to cut back to even more occasionally after this. Yeah, because like I said, only had 3 drinks, had some champagne, and then had a pretty good Irish coffee, and now I'm just that equated to only 3 drinks in public, and it wasn't one drink, not this week, and couldn't hold it off for one more day. That's another thing. That's another topic. That's going to be another video. There's always a catch with alcohol. So didn't do it on Friday, but I did do it on Thursday. I did do it on Thursday. Had only 3. So could probably go another week, and could probably, as a matter of fact, go a few weeks, if not or longer. Because yeah, you really want to see if you can go a long time without this stuff. What's going to happen is, you might have only one alcoholic beverage and keep it light. Concoction. You might have only one concoction of alcohol and achieve light drinking for that day because you kept telling yourself that and you kept kind of tripping about that. But then what might happen is, especially you try something new. You say, hey, what's brandy? Hey, yeah. So hey, what's cognac? What's whiskey? You could end up slipping again. And you have to remind yourself, hey, only have 1, or hey, only have 3, or hey, it's an occasion, only have 6. Don't go to 7, because then you're even once a week, even one day a week. 7 is heavy. 6 is still somewhat heavy. 5 is heavy. 5 is binge drinking. So if you don't want to be a binge drinker, do not have 5. Maybe don't even have 4, because that could turn into 5. And if you just want a nice high off of it. If you want to be a pleasant person, and save all your time and money in the process. Still do it sometimes because you're trying to see was trying to be cool. I was drinking to try to be cool. Now I'm trying to shift more toward not trying. I'm going to. I'm going to. Besides wine bars, maybe one or three, depending on how many days of the week it is. I'm going to shift drastically my alcohol consumption further so that I'm not even drinking in public most of the time. Because I've heard that on YouTube. I've heard people say how they don't even drink in public, um, and for good reason, for a variety of reasons, for a number of reasons. Um, but then they probably don't drink at their house either. Could probably do that now, even just. But you know what? Think so for the cutback plan. Might quit for a week. Then in a week, well, if it's a holiday, we'll have a little bit more. But if it's a 5-day week, we'll have a little bit less. I'm talking one drink at most. So if it's a 5-day week, we'll just have one because others can wait. And then if it's a holiday, might have a little bit more. So the one with a champagne, basically have one and then have a champagne, and then that's a pretty good amount. And then after that, after doing that, after the holiday has gone and have achieved that, uh, for my last, well then even at wine bars might not drink at all. So then might just completely totally end alcohol consumption public. That should be an ideal goal to have. Stopping, ending, eliminating drinking alcohol in public. Public intoxication is one of the, if not the largest issue facing this county. So if you're always wondering in this county, am I awake? Am I making sense of things? It may have to do with other people's public drunkenness. So yeah, and you'll hear about that. People will say, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're right, Michael. That person was trying to start shit with you." But and then they'll also say, "Oh, but they're wasted. They're completely just shit-faced binge drinking and using Friday or even maybe Thursday or Sunday even as a and Saturday as a cop out. We'll think of drinking on a Thursday night as a cop out. I'm only trying to, if I'm going to drink at all, it's going to be on the days when people drink Friday and Saturday. I think people drink Friday or Saturday, and they don't really have to do it again. We'll hear people usually say how, oh, I don't have to do this again. It's a very burdensome thing. So if you're going to drink in public, it should only be stuff that you really, really don't mind, and it should be in situations where you're going to be comfortable. 6 on an occasion, no more than 6. So don't go into that 7 drinks category if you want to be light about it. 1 to 3 in a day. But if you want to achieve truly light drinking, if you still have to do it, go to a nice wine bar, have one glass, and you'll still get a nice high. That's the thing. Alcohol is way too strong. My mom's mentioned this about drugs. Drugs these days are too strong. The stuff that she heard about back in the day was minuscule, damn near non-existent compared to the stuff that's getting circulated around today. Drugs are incredibly strong, way too intense for you and your body. No, yeah. So if you're an active person, if you're an active and trying to be a busy person, well, then you'll see that drugs are just another thing like a desktop computer that, it's not going to let you go anywhere. You're kind of beholden to it and you're kind of getting held hostage by it. That is until you put it down. If you're an active person, you're a mobile person. You should only be doing mobile things. You shouldn't be drinking in your house. You shouldn't be getting bogged down by unnecessary, redundant equipment. That's what I have thought of alcohol as unnecessary, redundant equipment. And you want to avoid that. You want to avoid unnecessary redundant equipment as much as you can. Because not only the saving money, but also saving time. Saving time. I could be doing this right now at the park, or at the museum. Maybe the museum, perhaps the museum. Maybe. Yeah, I'm just a mobile person, so I do mobile things, or if something is a little bit less mobile, I still try to do it in a mobile-friendly kind of way. I don't like to do anything that bogs me down. Nothing bogs me down. I'm always going. Um, I'm always going. I don't turn my head. I don't look at you sideways. I don't stop. I keep going. And you can keep coming with me. You can determine whether or not you would like to keep coming with me. So, alcohol already is something that's going to slow you down. The second you take a sip, you are taking time and money. So you might as well turn it into a meditative thing. Why turn it into a qualitative thing? It should be a meditative thing, like anything else you do. It should be in moderation. It should be in meditation. Nobody mentions this. It should be in meditation. Achieved in public mindful drinking. And I'm done with heavy drinking. I'm so past that. So what I will do, I will get out a list. I'll get out various tools for making sure that I'm drinking mindfully. It's kind of like a journal. And then we'll list, if it's holiday, 3, if it's 5-day, just 1 drink, maybe 2 at the most. So 1 to 2 on a 5-day, and then maybe 3 to 4 at most, 1 day a week for me, and that's enough. But if it's a holiday, so we'll drink maybe a little bit more if it's a holiday. Have time to do that, but we'll drink the most minimal kind of low risk amount during a week in which have to be particularly disciplined. I'm not going to drink on Thursday. I'm not going to drink on Sunday. I'm not going to drink in my house. I'm not going to drink until it's dinner hour. This is what most people do, and it'll be on Friday and or Saturday. And I'm going to have maybe 1 to 6 at most, but I don't even need 6 because already 5 is too much for me. So my cutoff is 1 to 4. 1 to 4, 1 day per week. But 4 only if I have a holiday coming up. Otherwise, I'm going to really be careful about this and say only 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Now, I may do that later today. May do that later today. May wait until it's dinner, have my dinner. We'll have my dinner, and then we'll kind of wait till kind of dinner hour. And I already sound kind of like an addict by saying stuff like this. But I'll go out and I'll have maybe 3 more in public, or I might have 1, 2, or even just 1 or 0.5 drinks in public, depending. Might do that. Was going to do that, but didn't do that yesterday, so might still do that today. So yeah, if I go out, if I drink, it's going to be at a nice wine bar. It's going to be at a nice wine bar. Yeah, if I go anywhere else, I'm just going to have some nice orange juice or something like that. But yeah, what I will do is I'll go to a nice wine bar, and at most I'll have, some champagne, some prosecco, and maybe 1 and 1 glass of red wine. Champagne, prosecco. That's what I do. But think I'm going to cut back from the prosecco because that's kind of like a mini bottle. Trying to avoid mini bottles now because mini bottles seem kind of like a sporty kind of way to drink, and we're trying not to do that. Yeah, so I think maybe right now I'm cutting back to at most 6 drinks, not only per occasion, but I think that's for the week. for the week, because anything above 6 is officially heavy drinking. And heavy drinking, if you're worried about turning drinking into a sport, will then avoid heavy drinking. And how to do that is you keep it to 6 or less for the week. For the week, maybe spread it out once or twice, and that still could be seen as a disciplined and diminished way of going about this. Yeah, so 1 to 3 at most should be your upper limit for drinking in moderation and quitting that pandemic drinking, and throwing away that pandemic drinking. It's time. It's time to do this. So, yeah, if do this again, it's going to be 1 to 3, once or twice a week. That's it. Twice if there's a whole, cutting back. So might do this one more time this week just to really cement that new habit, that new version of this habit. Would agree with other YouTubers. This is a habit. 1 to 3, once or twice a week. That's what I'm doing right now. And then the goal is to not even. There's another hand thing. The goal is. The goal. It's just a nice, more comfy ways of doing this. Just sober in most, if not all, public areas. Just want to avoid being another statistic when it comes to the epidemic of public intoxication, especially in this county. Want to be part of the solution. And yeah, I'm very introverted, but also at the same time, am an active introvert. So I'm definitely not somebody who wants to get bogged down by this stuff. So my limit is 1 to 3, once or twice per week. That is my limit. For a total for the week of 6, that is the moderate drinking recommendation. Anything more, and you are heavy drinking, you're back in pandemic drinking. And we want to defeat that pandemic drinking. It is a new era. It is dawn in America. You stop heavy drinking, you basically have quit drinking. Congratulations. So if you're not having 7 drinks a week anymore, if you're having less than that, congratulations, you stopped drinking. Congratulations, you quit alcohol. You resigned alcoholic almost drinks. So yeah, 1 to 6 a week at most. If you still enjoy doing stuff like this, would say 1 to 6 a week at most, and spread it out 1 to 2 days. 2 days could really still be seen as one, because that could be, within this 24-hour period. That is, only the 20% of the time that you're doing stuff like this. I've heard that on YouTube, doing stuff only 20% of the time. If you're not sure about something, don't have it around in your house. Go get it. And if you're not sure about something, don't make a sport of it. Keep it limited. People were doing pandemic drinking because they were confronting their just unspeakable loneliness. Okay, that's what people were doing, and now you're seeing a lot of people struggling with just some basic interactive social skills, and it happens to me too. But we basically should be doing this so that we've basically to the point of quit it. I quit drinking. I'm now moving toward cutting back to no drinking in public at all whatsoever. Maybe still a wine bar for a while, but that's it. I'm going to pretty much shift to just having sober beverages in public, and if there is a party or something like that, might still have 1 or 3. 1 to 3, during a busy week, and less busy week might have 3 to 6, and that's a new goal. So we'll have After this weekend, I'm going to have only about 3 drinks during a busy week. And less busy week, we'll have 3 drinks once or twice that weekend. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to have only one drink. It's just that's a good idea because you could already get high off of one. So if you're like me, you're easy to impress. You're kind of easily satiated and impressed. I could be pretty easily satiated and impressed both. Then if you have to do stuff like this, then would say one drink a week should be really truly enough for you and your needs. Then you can do other stuff most of the time. And you didn't quit entirely, but you at least quit this uh, toxic drug, and you've quit you've quit the phase of it that was a pandemic. See people doing this. People are defeating pandemic drinking. And that's a very wise choice. I'm seeing people now making a lot of wise choices. They're not going to necessarily go back to public intoxication. They're not going to go back to day drinking and already having the weekly amount on one day since midday, since noon, since lunchtime. It's not lunchtime. It's dinner. But it could become kind of a dinner replacement if you're not careful. So yeah, I'm only going to have. Here's my cutback plan for this weekend. I think I'm going to have my 6. That will be spread out by week's end along 2 days, so 3 drinks on both days. And if I'm able to achieve that for this week, then we'll cut back to from now on just 3 glasses, 1 to 3 glasses of wine during a busy week, and that's only one day a week. And if there's a holiday coming up, we'll do that, but then we'll do that again. We'll do that one more time because you can really only drink 3 days a week, so might as well drink 2 days a week, and that's kind of still keeping it at bay. You're not overly doing this. Wine is a Jesus drink anyway. So yeah, you should be picky about this. If you're trying to get past the pandemic, you should be really picky with alcohol. You should treat alcohol not like it's something that you look forward to. You should treat it like it's something that you're trying to escape, that you're trying to run from. Don't run from. Why are you running from people? What about this? Look at all these cool people who we have up here in our viewing queue. They're probably wanting to listen in, and they're probably wondering the same thing. How do I, especially when the next crisis comes along, which this is the United States. I'm setting my watch to it. But when the next crisis comes along, what's your game plan? How are you going to confront things in a healthy, even just a more mobile and less kind of bogged down way? Because you're going to especially have to do that when crises roll around. You're going to have to be, on your feet, up and at it, not worried about, drugs, not worried about overspending during the weekend. There's stuff that would say that most people have figured out at this point. Not spending too much. Yeah, see, my drug for the week is kind of a nice glass of tea or a nice teapot. Or it's my drug can be spending money. I easily spend money more days of the week than I do drink. I don't even want to drink 2 days of the week because it means that I'm doing more of it, and I'm doing it more regularly. And I don't want to really be a regular. I want to be somebody who pops in and out, uh, and then doing other stuff. There goes my alarm. So, in summary, here, what we're discussing is that how do we finally defeat pandemic drinking and close out the era of the epidemic of public intoxication. 1 to 3 drinks, that's the light amount, once or twice per week. 1 to 3 drinks. If you want to be super minimalist about it, 1 drink once to twice a week. If you want to be mostly minimalist about it, 3 to 6 drinks per week. And you could still do that once a week. So if you're trying to do everything all at once, you could still have 6, although that's still getting there. So if you're trying to be mindful of that too, avoid having 5 drinks in one day. How do you do this? Avoid beer. Avoid mixed drinks. Stuff that's going to get you hooked up on all that sugar. You should be drinking stuff that you could, kind of come back from. Okay, so we have some comments here. JV's Hangout. How you doing, Jeremy? Haven't seen you in a minute. It's good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Jeremy says, haven't drank any alcohol at all since September 2022. Never felt better. That must be a relief. Hope all is well. Everyone should make their own decisions about alcohol, though. Just it's a free country. Part of that freedom, though, is health, and health is the number one concern. Alcohol is a drug. It's a drug. It bogs you down. Guys, Jeremy, here's another ant. Maybe it's the same ant. I don't know. That might be the same ant. Jeremy has not had a drink, guys, in 3 years. So good for you. A job well done. Salute you on that. That's really tough. I've gone 7 months. I've not gone 3 years. That really is the true minimalist to drinking, is to even go years without drinking. It's just not something that I really think about that much. And if I'm doing it, it's only doing it because of this wanting to prove myself, i.e. trying to be cool. I was drinking to try to be cool. Bartenders don't even drink, so not even bartenders drink, so don't kid yourself. You need to be picky about this. If you're trying to defeat that pandemic drink, you need to be super careful. You need to be super choosy, like a daddy's girl. You need to be super choosy about these situations, about what you're doing. The second that you start to think maybe this isn't that enjoyable, maybe apply that to the whole habit and not just the way you're doing it, not just the way you're consuming it. Because mind you, you have to do this in a particularly small amount. No pandemic drinking. 1 to 6 per week, ideally spread out among 1 to 2 days, and best one. And it's truly best to have 1 to 3 or even just 1 drink. And that's what you should do. You should have 1 to 6 drinks per week. Ideally, if you're really a busy person, it should be 1 to 3 drinks per week. And if you want to be truly light about it, 1 drink per week. And you're not going to be turning this into a sport, i.e. preparing for the next, crisis. JV's Hangout. Honestly, the only time, thanks for tuning in on the show this morning, JV, Jeremy Vincent, thank you very much. Honestly, the only time I think about it at all now is holiday events with family drinking. Otherwise, it really never crosses my mind. So the urge will go away over time. Congrats on cutting back. Thank you very much, and a good job with your cutting back. So yeah, guys, Jeremy, see, he's already doing this. Just not even try to prove yourself with it. Jeremy's not even trying to prove himself with it week week out. He's trying to keep it to a really minimalist amount. He's talking maybe holidays, maybe at most. So, you know what? And also, if you've cut back, especially you've cut back your drinking and managed to do that in public, quit drinking in public. Might do it one more time today, but then I do it today. That's going to be the last time. It's going to be the last time. So today will be the last time drinking in public, or at least one of the last times. And then when the next holiday rolls around, that will definitely be the last time drinking in public, and then won't drink again unless it's a holiday. And yeah, it's with family. But that's it. That's it. Because to defeat pandemic drinking, you must stop treating it like a sport, and you must stop falling victim to the illusion of action of repeatedly attempting to turn this into a social status achievement once or twice a week. That's not what we were trying to do. We're trying to make this so that this is the back burner of your life, and not the forefronting face of your life. So thank you very much, JVs. Thanks everybody for tuning in. So again, defeating pandemic drinking and public intoxication with alcohol and other drugs. Here's your plan. 6 per week at most. If you really want to be good about it, maybe 2 or 3 at most per week. So what would say is, if you're busier, 3 per week, and if you're a little bit less busy, 6 a week. And if you're trying to be truly anal about it, one for the whole day, one alcoholic concoction for the whole day. That's what I'm going to do, and might have one more public drinking event, and that will be my 3 more, and then my 6 total for the week. And then following that, we'll keep on doing that until the next holiday. And then after this holiday ends, this coming holiday in May transpires, we'll cut back to, as my fellow YouTubers are saying, only drinking with my family and close people during the holiday season. So only drinking at all during a holiday. So maybe basically only having a decent glass of champagne. So thanks, guys. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. See you in the next video. And keep in mind, 6 drinks per week. Ideally spread across 2 days or less. And maybe even just 1 drink per week. And go find some other stuff to do, because nature is calling. The world is back. We are back. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, and talk to you guys soon. Thank you. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.